Welcome to Fifth Dimension. So today's reading is going to be guidance offered to anybody who may be experiencing what we know in tarot as the Tower energy. So this is going to resonate only with a specific collective of people, and you will know if this reading will be for you. Okay, so I did want to pull separate guidance because we can experience the Tower energy in infinite ways and aspects when it comes to our lives. So that's going to differ for everybody. However, before I do get into the readings, I do want to offer a collective guidance that I received during grounding and meditation before this specific reading. Okay, so if you do feel guided to that collective message, then I ask you to stick around. If you are in a hurry or just don't feel guided to the collective and want to go straight to your pile, then you can find the timestamps in the description box as always. So the piles are, pile number 1 is green Aventurine. Pile number 2 is going to be the Amethyst quartz. Pile 3 is Tiger's Eye, and pile 4 is going to be Lapis Lazuli. So choose whichever you feel most guided to. More than one, I would trust that as well. And also, I do want to just stress specifically with this reading, because it does, Tower moments always involve very sensitive aspects of our lives. So I do want to stress the need for you to only take whatever messages completely resonate with you, as in sound like they were recorded as a personal message specific to you and your current situation. Okay, if it doesn't fit that, then just disregard it. All right, loves? All right, loves. So when it comes to the collective message, when it comes to the Tower, if you were guided to this reading because you are currently experiencing your own Tower energy in your life, I just wanted to let you know that I'm right there with you. The Tower energy is, to be honest, it has a lot of words associated with it, but really when it comes down to it, there's no real explaining the depth of shatteredness that is experienced when you are in the Tower energy, okay? Sometimes the Tower energy can be felt as something more subtle because it's in the subconscious versus in the exterior world, but it has the same impact. However, when it does happen in the exterior world, this is how we experience it, as a very sudden, very profound, very powerful shock of voltage in our life, that it just shatters, explodes, sets everything on fire, and it just sort of leaves you in a state of instability and chaos, emotionally, and a lot of times, you know, it can be exteriorly as well. So like I said, this will affect or be experienced in your life different for everyone. There are typically Tower moments associated with times in our lives where things are needing to be shed, and that's the strong direction I want to take with this guided message that I was guided to offer. Okay, in a place of preparedness for what is to come, because Tower energies, they're very profound in the moment, but as well as there's aftershocks. It's like an earthquake. I keep experiencing this or associating this specific Tower with what's like an earthquake. It's not only the initial impact that you have to navigate your way through, but it's also the aftershocks that you have to navigate your way through, because you're not in the clear just yet. Okay, and so I don't say that to scare anyone. The whole purpose of this reading is to offer any sort of guidance, offer any support, really. support coming from someone who is experiencing this in a very, I don't know, I don't have a word to describe how distressing the tower I'm experiencing is, okay? So in an effort to ground my own energy and navigate my own way through this, I was guided, and I'm taking every single step of guidance to release resistance as best I can, okay? And literally one moment at a time, because it's not easy, okay? So therefore there is this reading. So that was just the intro and letting you all know where these messages are coming from and me trying to keep myself grounded. I have not slept in 24 hours. I've been on an emotional roller coaster, and I have been seeking guidance and following it one step at a time, 1 minute at a time, 1 hour at a time, and taking it that way. It's only been 24 hours, but it feels like I've been in this energy for months, is how distressing it feels right now, okay? So this reading is helping, apparently, to ground my energy, but as well as continuing to offer support to anybody who may need that right now, okay? The message started off in the meditation with a lantern. So that's the first thing that I was drawn to. It clicked in a way that I had a couple, I don't know, it was like a week or two ago, where I had gotten a message in meditation about, which I just write down these impressions when I get them during meditation. Sometimes they end up making sense, sometimes they don't mean anything, but I always just write them down just in case. I had gotten a message about a tower and how I was about to get, not a tower. I'm saying that's heavy in my energy, sorry. A message about a lantern. And sorry, maybe I should show you my little notes of the meditation. But the lantern was the first thing that came up. And originally, I had gotten a message that I was about to receive my lantern. And I thought that was cool and cute, like always. I'm always being, I don't know, just silly. So I thought it was a cool thing that I was about to receive my lantern, if it meant anything, right? Well, I've come to realize that the lantern is represented, at least today, at least right now in this reading, because I got the strong message to give to anybody who is experiencing this energy at this time, that we're all in this together, me, you, us, and that the only difference between you and I is that I'm holding the lantern, but we're all taking one step at a time in the darkness, all the same, okay? So just know that you're not alone. I'm here with you, in case you needed to hear that. Now, I know I took a long, dragged out time, but I have re-recorded this reading. I've been re-recording this reading for about 3 hours now. That's how much I've not been able to have my energy grounded, but I think I'm almost there. The main message is, try your hardest right now to release any resistance that you have. And I know that's the most difficult thing to do, because when everything around you is collapsing, the first instinct you have is to want to grasp hold of it and keep it as much structured as you can. And in this case, that's not possible, my love, okay? You gotta let it fall. Let the pieces fall. Release the resistance and trying to fight. And how is resistance experienced? If you are putting your body to a place of distress, is the best word, because that's the best way I can connect to what I've been experiencing. If you're putting your body to a place of distress, you're feeling that because there is such resistance in your ability to do anything to change the situation. You have no control, okay? And if you're putting your body in a place of distress where you feel physically ill, of how much you may be crying, or how much you may have anxiety, or how much you may be whatever, okay? Any of those feelings that are making you feel ill, if you're putting yourself to that state, that is resistance in your body, okay? You need to find your guidance. As hard as it is right now, you need to find your guidance and use that guidance to take you to what is going to help you release resistance in the moment, like I said, for right now, just this moment. Because in the Tower energy, you cannot move 2 steps, 3 steps, 4 steps, 1 day, 5 days. You cannot see that far ahead. There's no way. So putting your energy there is just going to cause you more distress, okay? So your guidance is to try your best to find your own personal inner guidance, your own inner lantern, if you will, and trust it as best you can to release resistance in that moment, okay? Whatever is going to help you to get your energy to not be in distress, do that. Trust that. Whatever it is, okay? Trust yourself. Even if it doesn't make sense, like doing a reading in the middle of you being chaotic and distraught and crying and not having slept, okay? That makes no sense. Tell me why my guides are telling me to do this reading, but we'll see. I haven't gotten there yet. Working my way to it. Try your hardest to release resistance. These shifts are for your highest good, okay? This is what I pictured as far as my own personal, but it may resonate with you. The tower is usually a full-blown tower, however it's depicted in the specific tarot deck. So 6 years ago, around this time, yeah, I experienced a profound tower, the most profound tower I've ever experienced, and I experienced it alongside my daughter. It is me and her. We are a family unit. It's just us two, okay? Well, with my mom, but in this case, it was just us two. We experienced that tower together, and it was so profound. I assumed that the tower was down, and that me moving on for my life, doing my healing, moving forward, helping her do her healing and moving forward, that it was behind us. That tower was behind us, and anything that we were standing on was a new tower with new bricks that had nothing to do with that old tower. But apparently it was, that's all I had done. For the past 6 years, I was existing on patched up rubble, which is why I'm telling you, any resistance that you are having to want to pick up the pieces and hold it together, don't do that, please. At this time, if you are resonating with this message so far, I need you to just try your hardest to release your urge to want to patch things up, because this is what I have been assuming. This is what I have been, my foundation, if you will, and I saw it so clearly, okay? So what's happening now, remember I said that message about the aftershocks. This tower that I am experiencing 6 years later, full circle with my daughter, it is because I was existing on the rubble that I tried to patch together, and it came full circle, and the entire thing, the rubble completely settling down to the ground for good this time. And I have to see it that way, because that is what I am being guided to do, okay? To find my strength, to shift my thoughts from all the whys. Why? She doesn't deserve this. I don't deserve this. We did our best to pick up the pieces and move forward. And that was my first initial thought that led me to all of the distress, is all the whys, okay? However, being able to at least try, for right now, I'm doing it, okay? So right now in this moment, I have shifted that to, instead of why, to I don't know why. I can't see why, because I am in the darkness. Remember, I have a lantern that's just a very well, this one's a big flame, right? Apparently the way that it looks from the camera, but it's a very tiny flame. It's a very dim lantern that I am holding. So I can only see the step right in front of me, okay? And so all I can really say is that I don't understand why, and I won't be able to see why, maybe for a while. I don't know how long I will have clarity. But what I can say is I'm ready, and put myself in the best place of preparedness, knowing that I've experienced this specific tower before, and how the way that I reacted, the resistance that I put up, and the actions that I took when I was experiencing that affected everything. Knowing that, needing to react differently, right? Because when you know better, you can do better. And so me knowing better now, knowing that I need to shift my energy to I'm ready, even though I don't know why and I don't know what is in front of me, but I do know that it is profound change because I've experienced it before. So putting myself in as best preparedness as I possibly can, and in my strength as best I can to take that step forward, okay? That's all I can see, so that's all I can do, all right? One step at a time. And is there anything else? Perspective changes. The lightning bolts. It's no coincidence that me specifically in my area where I'm from, there has been many crazy lightning storms lately, back to back to back. And it's no coincidence that lightning is very profound and strong energy in my vision board that I am going by, which I did very randomly. I literally was just going by the aesthetic when I made that vision board, but it is holding so true to what my life, how my life is unfolding. I swear, it's crazy, the synchronicity, as well as with the storms and what they indicate. The other day I watched a storm for hours, whereas normally I would have hid out of fear because I'm such a fearful person. I sat there and I watched that lightning for hours. It was so crazy. The sky, the energy was so electric, and I just was so mesmerized by it instead of fearful. And I just sat there almost studying the lightning and trying to understand what the earth was doing, what the environment was doing, and why it felt the need to create such immense power throughout the sky, and what that was doing to all of the molecules around it by spreading all of that, all of those, what are they, like protons, electrons, whatever, all of that power of that lightning that is impacted. It has to send ripple effects, just like we feel that thunder and we see that light. All of those particles are ripple effects that affect everything in the environment. And I was trying to understand what it was doing to itself. It's no coincidence that within the same week that of all of these synchronicities with the lightning, that I experienced this very profound tower moment in my life as well. I know it's no coincidence. I trust in synchronicity, and that is the only reason why I'm not, I don't know, just losing hope or feeling complete hopelessness at this time, okay? I think those are all the messages that needed to come through. If any more, I feel need to come through in regards to your specific readings. If you did stay through and listen to this whole message because you felt guided to, I hope that I was able to offer something to I don't know, to ease, to support, just something, because it's sort of therapeutic in a way, me doing this reading, for me anyways right now. So I will see you at your reading, loves. Hi, pile number 1. Thank you for joining me for your reading. If you chose the green Aventurine, then you are at the right pile. So I am going to go ahead and just start pulling oracle messages. I was not able to pull any impressions, but I will pull some oracles as well as some tarot. Just sort of get any messages that come through. I really don't know the direction of this reading and how it's supposed to go. I just know that it's supposed to happen. That one flipped itself. That's too many. Divination, priestess, waking lion. Animal guardian, trust your instincts. I'm loving all of this already so far. And I'm glad that I don't have to put too much energy. And I apologize if I am low energy. Trust me, I did put plenty of intention into this reading as far as like cleansing my energy so that it doesn't affect you, but also cleansing my energy and protecting it from yours as well. No offense. Yeah. Sorry, I was confusing myself for a second. Don't you just love that? The High Priestess came out to clarify the Priestess. Okay. Sorry. Okay. I am going to pause because I want to be able to like just really focus. I feel like my energy is slightly different when I'm recording, and my ability to focus, it feels like loud. I don't know how to describe that, but once I put pause or stop, it quiets the loud. All right, actually pile number 1. Oh, I just realized there was a nip there. Okay. If you did not, pile number 1, see the collective guided message, I encourage you to click on that in the timestamp and watch it, because if you didn't, it's going to connect with this reading almost, if not completely, okay? Because I feel like I'm about to just repeat what I'm going to say it because I love that this energy came out. We have Waking the Lion and King of Cups. So I always assume that anybody who's viewing my reading is very familiar with tarot readings from watching readings, right? So Waking the Lion, Leo energy. It's very fiery. This is about just like a lion, like embodying strength that is natural to who you are. Lions are renowned worldwide within the animal kingdom and the humans as well for having this wild, untamable fire within them, okay? So it's about embodying that intense amount of power that you carry within you in order to navigate your way through this time, as hard as that is, okay? The King of Cups gives me that perfect balance of fiery and finding your inner strength and allow it to pull you out of the depths of your ocean, if you will. So the waters being your emotions, and there being a lot of them associated with whatever tower you are currently experiencing. An ocean of emotions are involved. Now in this case, water can have different energies. Water can be still. Water can, which it still has depth and holds a lot, but it can be still. It can have some movement, a little bit of calm waters, but it can also get very turbulent. And I feel like if you are feeling your water energy as turbulent, your emotions at this time, the King of Cups is also the guidance to, this would be the one to take the lead to bring your water energy into a balanced state of emotions in order to put them to a grounded place of King of Cups, right? It's not turbulent. He has calm waters beneath his feet. How is he able to achieve this in the time of the Tower? By pulling and embodying the inner lion energy, if you will. As cliche as that sounds, to find your inner lion, right? But there is strength within you. And it all starts with how you speak to yourself. And I will give you a personal example, as embarrassing as it is. When I experienced my Tower moment yesterday, my first instinct is always to resist what had just happened and try to hold control, even though control was 100% absolutely not within my hands, okay? The resistance to not having any control caused me to go into a turbulent emotional state, extremely emotionally turbulent, which I can very quickly get lost and drown, right? If I'm in rapid, crazy waves and waters. So immediately feeling how turbulent the water was getting, very quickly, my inner lion came out and having the awareness. So the first thing is to have the awareness, right, of what it is that's happening within your emotional state, especially if it's changing very quickly. As soon as you have the awareness, to try, and I won't say it's easy, but to try, keep trying to find that is within you, that you have experienced, that you've already gotten over in your life, everything that you've been through, that you have persevered past despite the obstacle, despite the challenge. Pull on that memory, to pull on that energy of what you felt when you got past that. And that's the only way, okay? Whatever memories you have of getting through something that was very difficult in your life, I ask you to remember that, because that is how you can access the energy of that feeling of getting through it, okay? Find whatever you can find in there to help you snap out of it, and change the mindset, because what you tell yourself in your mind is going to navigate everything in your energy, okay? So specifically when it comes to your emotions, the mind needs to take the lead and find those thoughts to hold that strength and dominate the way the rest of the energy in your body is functioning at this time, whatever you're experiencing. Then we have the Priestess with both. I mean, she clarified herself. The Priestess energy is trusting. In the general collective message, there was strong emphasis on trusting any guidance. You're not going to be able to if you're in turbulent waters, which is why this is the most important card, right? It was the first one to come out. Was it? I don't even know. But if it was the first one, which I feel it's the dominant energy of your reading and your guidance, it's going to take the lead on what your guidance is, and that is to the thoughts. That is the only power you have, okay? So being able to find those, to be able to shift that, because that is where the guidance will be able to come in. once you get your emotional state to a place of calm waters beneath your feet, that is where you can have some guidance come through, even if it's just for a split second, even if it's just a brief moment of clarity to put you in a place of direction, okay? Because that is what priestess energy is. It's having your inner self, your higher self, your spirit, whatever you want to refer to it as, it's having that navigate you, because that part of you is not stuck in the body, in the experience. It has a broader eagle's eye perspective to be able to guide you from the right place, okay? So you need to be able to trust that, but you can only get there if you're able to calm your waters. And you can only get there if you're able to shift and pull on any of those experiences that you've gotten through, to find any strength that you can and cling on to that, okay? Every single time, no matter how many times you have to continue to shift that energy, okay? Rest and rejuvenation and the Six of Cups. So the Six of Cups specifically in this part being coming to a place of emotional balance. I just saw 11:11. Coming to a place of emotional balance, which is what this energy is, right? Coming to a place of emotional balance, mental balance, complete balance. Trying your best to get yourself there, even though it's not easy, but that being the focus. I feel, pile number one, that you are definitely emotionally distraught with, well, I mean, come on now. Like, that's like a ridiculous thing for me to say. Of course you're emotionally distraught. There's no way to experience the Tower without being emotionally distraught, okay? But your guidance is to put yourself into a place, which also connects with the general message. Now that I'm thinking, I did mention any resistance that you're having to the Tower and allowing things to collapse. You're going to experience that energetically, right? Because these are like metaphorical terms to help you understand how energy works. Everything in tarot is. It is a metaphor. It is a symbol to represent how we perceive an energy, okay? High Priestess represents how we perceive, how we can understand intuition. This energy right here, emotional balance and being in a place of meditation, of calm, of peace, this is to represent the energy of emotional balance, okay? Is what you are being guided to strive for at this time. Animal guardian, trust your instincts, as well as the Page of Cups, which is also water represented. So your instincts are guiding you, just like the message of the intuition, just like the message from the guided collective message, which was that you are being guided one step at a time. But you have to be able to be in the place of reception to receive the guidance, okay? And like I said, I don't want to have to repeat myself, but it's all like steps. Like the guidance that you are receiving in this reading is like this. Wait, I'm trying to use stairs as an example. I don't know if it's the upstairs, the downstairs, whatever, regardless. In order to get to the step that you are being guided, it's like you can't get there without the step before it, or the step before it, or the step before it, okay? If that makes sense. I hope it does. But that is the messages that I have for you. Again, I'm going to strongly encourage you, if you haven't listened to the collective reading, to listen to it. It's basically me describing this, but from my own personal Tower moment that I'm experiencing. So if that maybe helps you reflect or see it from a different perception, it might not. But I urge you to, or encourage, not urge you, I encourage you to only take always what resonates with you. And again, relaying the message that you are not alone. If you feel alone, which you might, and you probably do, feel like no one can understand what it is that you're going through. And even though I don't know your personal current experience, I will tell you that I'm here with you in similar energy. Maybe not the exact same experience, or maybe, okay? But you're not alone, and I hope that this guidance was able to help you in some sort of way. All right, loves, until we vibe again. Hi, pile number 2. Thank you for joining me for your reading. If you chose this amethyst quartz, then you're at the right pile. So I'm going to go ahead and just get started with pulling your oracles and some tarot. I'm not talking. I'm very low energy. Okay. Earth Magic, card number 1. The card No, Wait, Postpone, Pause, Say No. Card 14, Carrying Connections. And Autumn, Release the Old and Rest. So I am going to pull a clarifier for each. Oh, 2 cards came out. Okay, you know what I just noticed? All of the lightning going all the way down. That's going to be significant. Thank you. The more and more that I'm doing readings, and the more and more that I'm picking up stronger impressions on the energies from the readings, as well as just in general in my reading style, or whatever, flow, whatever you want to call it. It never fails to surprise me and excite me and calm me, if that makes sense. Like, calm and put me in a place of ease, of trust, because when you put the intention for a certain reading and certain energies continue to show themselves that match what the intention was. And I don't know anything about like math and statistics, and I don't know why I'm even saying this. I'm just going off on my trip, but the amount of cards and decks and what is, like, you know, why is math terminology coming in? Like, potentials, rates of potentials. I don't know what that means, but sort of like, what is the possibility of that one card coming out when you shuffle it out of a deck of a certain amount of number, right? Is what I mean. Like, all of the potentials of it being that one card versus any other card in that entire deck that ends up coming out in response to a certain intention, like a question or an energy that I'm trying to ask about that shows itself. Yeah. I just went on a long rant, but this energy showing itself to me in this way is making me calm for whatever reason, and I'm not even looking into it in that way. It's just making me calm because it's matching. It's matching the message and the intention that I'm trying to get out in response to the Tower, just like the first pile did. So I am going to sit with this because I want to give you the clearest message, and the best way I can do that at this time is to sit with it alone, not recording. Alright, loves, so that took me a while. Okay, so very clear messages, actually. With Earth Magic and Mother of Swords directly underneath it, like, if you pay attention to this, like, stream, or like, I don't know what this is, a stream of energy, or if it's supposed to be an ant tunnel, but the stream of energy that is coming down, or actually, if I should say, is going up, even though it's not in that direction, right? But okay, so the main energy of your guidance, pile number 2, is going to be in regards to grounding your energy. Okay, I've seen this card plenty of times before, but I don't know why I've never put emphasis on the fact that it says 1. Okay, but that's a strong message that's also going to connect to the collective, or I think I said it in the collective. I'm not sure if I did, but there was a collective message for all the piles in regards to what the Tower is, right? What does the Tower represent in why can I think, in tarot? It represents shaking loose in a very dramatic form, right? In a very shocking way that shifts things very suddenly. However, what that represents is knocking things down, usually that sorry, that we were not allowing to be released, okay? Things that we were clinging on. And this is like subconsciously. This is not like exteriorly, like I was holding on to the thing that I was supposed to let go of. Not like that. Subconsciously, usually when we have tower moments, there's things that we're holding on to that, but sorry, I felt I need to say that it also could be something exterior of you, like separate of you, like a house, a car, a person, you know, things like that that you're clinging to that have been needing to be shooken from your path in order for you to continue on in the direction you're supposed to be, okay? Your own true path. Earth magic with the grounding energy being the card number 1 indicates what comes after the tower, right? What comes after the tower? If everything comes knocking down, you have no choice. The tower representing something very powerful and very intact within your main every single day life is what the tower represents, okay? Something that's very connected to you and who you are and how you experience your everyday life. That's what the tower is. So then if that comes knocking down, there's no just like, oh, we'll just forget about the tower, I can just go on without it. Like, no, it's a very important aspect. So what do you have? No choice but to rebuild from the beginning, which is what tower moments are. As hard as it is to gain that perspective, that's a strong guided message coming to do that, okay? Focus on grounding and understanding that even though what you're in is not seeing this, you're seeing this, the tower, right? But it is truly the opportunity to plant new seeds. Start brick by brick, okay? Let the tower fall and start fresh with whole new bricks from whole new supply, okay? Not reusing old rubble from the previous tower, letting all of that go and starting fresh. Being able to have the opportunity to plant seeds. However, that's a whole nother message. That's like skipping into the future. The main energy of this is getting your energy grounded, right? I don't know why I went so off, but getting your energy grounded to bring you to a place of clarity. Because I feel like in order to get past this tower energy in your life that you are experiencing, it's going to take a strong shift in perspective with the owl. And that's what the Mother of Swords is, right? She's the Queen of Swords, is having a dramatic shift in, or a new perspective, completely shifting into a completely new perspective or new clarity in regards to something, and the only way to do that is through getting grounded. This is the goal of where you want to be, and this is the way you get there. It's getting your energy grounded in order to be able to see clearly or navigate clearly or understand a new perspective of the situation, okay? This next message with, like I said originally, the way the lightning comes all the way down in the way the cards came out, this is strongly telling me that in regards to taking any sort of actions or trying to hold any control, you are being guided to not, to release, to not put energy, because that's what wand can represent, put energy into trying to control, to allow things to fall as needed, allow that to be out of your hands, and trust in that, okay? We have the Empress energy here, which is typically the energy of just allowing, right? The Empress is typically associated with the ultimate vibration of surrender, because in having that strong feminine intuitive connection and being able to trust that intuitive connection in a way that is complete surrender. It is the tree knowing that all it has to do is simply exist, and that the soil that it's embedded in will provide it. The sun that shines above it will provide it, and it can thrive simply by expecting the surroundings, the environment, and trusting that it will be provided, okay, with everything that it needs, even in storms, even in snow, even in whatever, trusting that its environment will allow it to, I was going to say thrive, but that, I'm just going to go with that, okay, whether that makes sense or not, because I lost completely my train of thought all of a sudden. I apologize for being spacey, but I'm normally spacey, now more so. Carrying connections over here, and Mother of Cups. I feel like I'm missing something here, but I can't remember. Allowing things, ultimate surrender, and allowing things to play out the way that they need to play out, and not feeling the need to put a lot of energy and action into stopping the tower from falling, but also having control over the way things fall, if that makes sense. So yes, ultimate surrender. Trusting the intuition and trusting that even though you don't completely understand why this is happening or why it has played out and fallen in this way, to just allow it, okay? I just saw 1212 and also 1414. That was standing out to me in the beginning, and I just remembered when I saw the double digits. So 14 and 14 here, that might mean something to you. 1212 might mean something to you. You might consider Googling it. As far as like angel numbers, spiritual meaning, numerology message, however you want to search for it, and just trust your guidance, okay? There might be some messages for you in doing that, okay? So carrying connections is making me feel like guidance in regards to seeking any of those types of connections that you may have access to at this time, to help you put you in a balanced state, a balanced emotional state, because the Mother of Cups is the Queen of Cups, right? Being completely in control. It's the same message as pile number 1, but for them it was the King of Cups. But in order to put yourself in a balanced emotional place when it comes to your emotional stability, if you're feeling turbulent waters, seeking out any carrying connections that you have access to at this time, okay? I'm seeing that card from, I don't know which deck it is, the Lover's Oracle, Romance Angels, I think, something like that. There's a card that I'm seeing that says, let your friends help you, allow your friends to help you in this something situation, something like that. Okay, so that's what this is giving me. If it's friends for you, if it's family for you, if it's a person, a romantic person for you, who, whatever you need to, or whatever caring connections you have access to at this time, to allow those to assist you in putting you in a place of emotional balance to calm the waters, okay? Even if it's temporarily. Remember, we're step by step when it comes to the tower energy, okay? Moment by moment, because that's all we can navigate at this time. Autumn, release the old and rest. This is about what this whole tower energy is about in general, is release, okay? This release, trusting that as powerful of a shift it's going to cause, or is causing at this time in your life, that it is for your highest good, which was a collective message, but also that this is the purpose. It is to allow you to release the old that you have been carrying with you, that didn't serve you, which is why the tower energy came and shifted something. Something needed to change, okay? In order to take you to where you're trying to guide yourself, okay? It's always for your highest good in that sense, that it's just like, even though you can't see why all of a sudden you took a sharp curve and it caused all sorts of chaos for you, that you're having to adjust a bunch of things that feel like, not only is it uncomfortable, it's emotionally turbulent, it feels like, why is this necessary? Why do I have to experience a lesson or a shift or a change in this way? But it's to allow you to have all of that completely released in order to put you in a place. So release the old is about releasing something that you've been carrying with you for a long time. It's old, okay? You have been trying to release it, I feel, but sometimes it needs to happen in a dramatic way that is so profound. Not profound, that's not the word. It's just, how does lightning happen? It's just, sorry, I lost my train of thought. It's powerful in the intensity and the capacity and the energy that it holds. But at the same time, like, because it's so powerful, it creates or has the ability to shift things very suddenly, right? If you're a tree that gets struck, like the one that's being shown here, that's out of your control. You have no way of stopping that from happening. It's what it is, right? You can't get out of the way. However, a lot of the times when we are trying to release, this is just like energy, really. Like, it can mean anything, right? So release something, whatever it is that in some way is not serving you or not being productive to the path that you are headed in, or the life that you are trying to create for yourself. So whatever that can be for you is how we experience the tower, because any resistance, which all of us humans have resistance to change, right? Like, it's just, it feels safe when things are the same, when we can be able to gauge what's right ahead of us, what we can expect in the next day, in the next week, in the next month, to know, to have some safety net in not fearing what could be in those empty spots if we don't know what to expect. Okay, and that's what the tower does to us. It takes away our ability to resist change, because it happens so sudden that we don't have a choice. Okay, and once the tower is done, once the tree's cut, there's no going back. You can't just put the top of the tree or half of the tree, or if it's an actual tower like it's represented in other, you can't just, or I guess you could just repair the building, but that's not what this energy is. Okay, this energy is destruction, bringing the tower down, a collapse of, okay, a collapse of something that was one way that can no longer be put back together. Humpty Dumpty, that's what's coming through. Okay, couldn't put back together again. That's what the tower energy is, something that needed to be released, that you had a lot of resistance to, and so therefore we're not able to truly release it in the way that you needed to knock it loose. Okay, and it may have been something that you've been carrying for you, like, that can extend infinitely for you. Okay, but regardless, these towers happen to knock that loose, whatever that is, and then the healing can come in. The rest represents healing. That's what the Temperance card is. Okay, so being able to release this is what was necessary because of any resistance that you had to knocking it loose out of your life, and therefore the healing can finally come in after this. Obviously not right now. Right now is the part where you can't see the step ahead of you. Okay, you can't see much, but the guidance being, although you can't see much, although you have no control, what you can do is ground yourself in the best way to have the best perspective of how to navigate your way through this, as well as to help. Well, okay. Distract yourself, just like that just distracted us. That is helpful. If you can just distract yourself for 5 minutes, for 1 hour, for 3 hours, to keep your energy from becoming chaotic. You want it to be in the Mother of Cups energy. You don't want your emotions to be chaotic. So however best way you can do that, in reaching out to any caring connections that you have that can help distract, but also keep you in an emotionally balanced place for as long as possible. Okay, that's the way the tower energy works. That is the main guidance I keep on hearing to offer, is one step at a time, because tower moments are dark. Can't see. Okay, can't see ahead of you at all. It takes away all the safety net that you have of knowing what's happening tomorrow, what's happening in 1 hour, what's happening, you have no control of knowing that, and it's scary. It's scary place to be. But trust that you are not alone, and trust that this guidance is the best way of just for the now, okay? The present moment. Keep it in the present moment, because it becomes scarier when you try to project any control on what, when, why, okay? So that is what I got for you, pile number 2. That was rough. These readings have been so rough. This is my day, but this is how I'm coping. And I think it's on purpose that they're taking so long, because instead of being distraught and emotionally unbalanced, I am here trying to get a reading done. And it's taking time. All right. I hope that I was able to offer you something in some sense of guidance. I hope that I was able to offer it with a sense of clarity, because I don't know how clear I'm being in what I'm saying. So, until we vibe again, loves. Hi, pile number 3. Thank you for joining me for your reading. If you chose this tiger's eye, then you're at the right pile. So I am going to pull your oracles and some clarifiers and see what guidance messages come up for you in your current experience with the Tower energy. No. I can feel the, like, you know what's crazy is that I can feel like the energy change in each pile very subtly, because usually I put a lot more intention into picking up. Right now I'm just very softly picking up for guidance. Because I'm not looking into what the Tower energy is for you. I'm not looking into that energy at all, actually. I am just trying to pick up on any guidance. So it's sort of like I'm blocking out any messages of coming out about what specifics of the situation, sort of like putting a filter, closing that off, and only picking up guidance messages, which is weird that I'm describing it to you in that way. But I was gonna say that it's funny because it's like I'm putting a little curtain, and I don't know why I feel the need to describe it, but it's like I'm putting a little curtain on something that I'm not wanting to look at, but I can feel sort of, or hear sort of, that there's something back there, like an awareness of just like whispers, and I'm just like, I know you're back there, but I'm not trying to be aware of you. I don't know if that makes sense. If you are good at picking up energies, then you'll understand what I mean. Let's go ahead and take a look. A deep breath, card number 7, guidance. 46, the thinking man, guidance. Transformation, things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. Broken arrow, embrace the energy of peace. Oh, seriously, I love this so much. Now I know I was supposed to do these readings. I really do. Clarifiers. Well, it shifted definitely into feeling a little bit more masculine energy, but also there's a balance of feminine energy there too. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. That has nothing to do with the Tower that you're currently experiencing. I'm starting to focus on personals. I'm not going to do that. A deep breath, 8 of Wands. Card number 10, the Wheel of Fortune. You know what? Okay. Why? I apologize if there's a lot of rambling in this reading. Like, my train of thought is much more spacey than usual, but it feels like very cloudy at the same time. So I don't know how else to describe it, but I just say whatever I'm saying, if it makes sense and it resonates, take it. If not, just ignore me. Okay. Before I'm not even looking at the energy because, okay. When I said that it shifted to masculine energy, and then I wanted to start reading the masculine energy because it felt like very apparent that it wanted to make itself known to me, because I also mentioned that the curtains, right? And like, I know you're back there, and it's almost like they were whispering to try to let me know, like, hey, I'm back here, but like wanting me to know that they were back there. And then the way I read. And then I started to put the focus on, like, why was I trying to read into this pile's specific personal energy? And then it made me feel like the curtain again, going back to the curtain and like painting a peekaboo, like somebody's wanting to show themselves to me. Or to you, maybe. I don't know what, but that really strongly wants to come through. And only take that if it resonates. Like somebody's energy is heavy watching you and like wanting you to notice. Masculine, more dominant in their energy. And then it reminded me the other day when I was painting out at the paint spot, I get just really focused, right, that I kind of like lose senses of what's around me and my surroundings, because I could just be there for hours on end. And so then all of a sudden, from the side of my eye, something snapped me out of just like my focus on painting, and it was a fluffy tail of a squirrel. And then the squirrel like ran, he locked eyes with me, and then he was just like, oh, like she saw me. And I was like, wait, like I saw you on purpose, like you shook your fluffy tail on the side of my eye. And then he ran up the tree that's sort of like behind, and he sort of like was still like staring at me and like trying to lock eyes. And then when he saw that I was looking at him, and I even started talking to him, I was like, I see you. I was like, why are you trying to get my attention over there? And then he like kind of like ran a little bit higher in the tree, and he was like trying to hide his face, but he was like very clearly, visibly, like half his face sticking out, like watching me. And I was just like, he thinks he's hiding, but I can see him. That's the same vibe. Sorry for the long ass, random ass, silly ass story, pile number 3. But that all came out with the energy and the impressions that I was getting. And if that means anything to you, like being watched and like wanting to be known or noticed, I don't know. I don't know what that means, but okay, I said it. And now I am going to pause and connect with the energy of the reading, which is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm tripping out over your reading. Okay, so I am getting very clear messages. Okay, first thing I want to say before I forget, the King of Cups, the dominant masculine, feminine, water energy has been coming out in every reading so far, in response as a clarifier. Okay, so King of Cups came out in pile 1, Queen of Cups came out in pile 2, and now the King of Cups came out as a clarifier in pile 3. And these like clarifies, confirms to me of the guidance as far as messages of where your angels, guides, higher self, whatever you want to call it, universe, is guiding you towards, or all of us, collective energy is guiding all of us towards strong emphasis on emotional balance, because it's coming out in all the piles. And I'm shuffling on screen so that you can see the energy in real time, okay? This message is coming through actually very clear, pile number 3, so let me lay it out for you. Actually, there is a lot of masculine energy now that I'm seeing it. Okay. Anyways, that may be a strong focus for you. That may be a strong something when it comes to the tower of what the shift is intended to do, even though you can't understand why these changes are happening. It may offer you some clarity and something having to do with your masculine energy. So that is how you make decisions with the thinking man, take actions in your life, how you've been Maybe if you've been unbalanced masculine energy. We all have masculine and feminine energy, so this is not gender specific. I'm specifically talking about our masculine energy as far as the actions that you take in your life, the way that you express yourself in taking lead is what I'm hearing. Is maybe what these changes are shifting you into a more balanced masculine energy. Maybe, okay? Because those aspects control our life in very serious ways, right? Our masculine aspects, like when it comes to like our finances, decision making, preparation for, those are how our masculine energies express themselves into our lives. And if they're imbalanced, that can affect you in many ways. I know my masculine energy, still working on that, is very imbalanced, okay? But that may be, take that only if it resonates, a reason for this shift is to help you be in more balanced masculine energy for that aspect of you. I will say that, let me start over here. Dominant guidance is a deep breath. Obviously, what does that mean? That means just releasing resistance. When you take a deep breath and you release that resistance in chest compression, it brings relief, right? It brings peace. Embrace the inner peace here in your other guidance message. So that is my, like, that's why they tell you take a deep breath, right? Because by forcing your lungs to expand in that way and taking a deep breath, any compression that you are feeling on your chest will physically be forced to expand, which will temporarily give you any relief of that heaviness that you may be experiencing in regards to this tower energy and how it's expressing itself in your life, okay? This Eight of Wands, in regards to a deep breath, is calming something that you have built up heavily, okay? The energy that I was getting when I was sitting with this card is, okay, so I don't know, oh no, I'm gonna lie, I do, okay? So the connection that it's giving me, maybe because it's military or whatever, but it's giving me a flashback to a gun, okay? And the only reason I'm saying that is because that's the best way I'm going to be able to explain it, because that's how it's coming to me. But why do I feel the need to apologize for mentioning guns? Because I dislike guns and what they stand for and all of that, blah, 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 blah. Okay, anyways. The gun, like how it has the potential to release something with such a powerful impact, like what in a still standing object can create such a powerful momentum to all of that built up momentum. Well, obviously a mixture of gunpowder and blah, 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 blah. A spark, I'm assuming, I don't know. But I do know in the way that a gun works is like the little pin that gets pulled back, and that single pin, you know, that when it's released will create this amount of momentum that has such power. So with all of these Eight of Wands, it sort of gave me like pull back, like of that trigger, but in some, I don't know why I see it like that, like a pullback, which is giving me big resistance that's just built up and ready to be released, okay? I don't know what that means for you, but for me, all I'm getting is that it's resistance, and heavy, powerful resistance, because if it were to be released, it would just fling, okay? Like it would just go and go and go and go with how much built up resistance. I just saw 1313. That might mean something for you specifically, in case you feel guided to search it and get some more guidance at this time, okay? Is that all I need to say? A deep breath for releasing maybe all of this pressure, the resistance that you have to releasing something has built up so much that it's causing like that, like I said, that compression. Maybe that's what the tower is here to do, you know, some sort of sudden shift in forcing you to release this and just let it out. Okay, why? Because I feel like it's going to be a good thing. And this is weird because this reading is taking more of a turn of like trying to give you like a little foresight. Is that the way it says? Hindsight is what's in the past. Foresight is... Okay, sorry. I got myself confused there. Yes, it is called foresight. Having a little bit of a foresight as to why this tower energy is happening. Why these shifts that feel like, you know, maybe that's what you need to hear versus guidance of how to get through it in the moment. Maybe what's going to calm you and get through this moment is knowing what's the purpose of this and what's to come ahead. And that's why it's coming out in this way. Because the Wheel of Fortune and the Thinking Man, and the way that the cards laid out, like the way that I saw this is all of this that you are holding resistance to releasing. That could be anything. So take out however it connects to your situation, okay? Whatever you have built up that needs to be released, when you're able to release it, take a deep breath and just release the resistance that's causing all this compression. It's just gonna fling. And then we have the Wheel of Fortune. So for me, like what it gave me is it's just gonna freaking fly you into a new direction in which you're just gonna shoot into what feels like a completely different energy. Why? Because the Wheel of Fortune can mean fortune, luck that comes in at such a fast pace, which is also associated with, why would I have, anyways, also associated with the Wheel of Fortune energy is something that happens very suddenly, out of nowhere, very fast, but like luck that all of a sudden comes rolling in, you know. It can also indicate like movement that starts to happen, but in a positive direction, okay? So all of this built up sort of flings you, and it sort of like connected me to an experience like in my life, like where, or it's just like, I don't even have to say my own personal experience, just in general, like, you know how there's like even memes out there that say like when you break up with someone and then you have the glow up. I just saw 1616. I don't know what all of these numbers, but I'm emphasis on numbers today to offer extra guidance. So in case you need to or feel guided to, go search 1616, angel number, spiritual meaning, numerology, something, okay? I lost my train of thought. Damn, that's what I was scared of. Okay, Wheel of Fortune, gaining momentum. Oh, the glow up after the breakup. When that happens, like that happens for people a lot, right? And it's not only like, oh, well, I'm doing it to get the revenge or whatever. Sometimes, in a lot of cases, it just happens so fluidly, effortlessly almost, that positive things start to happen, including all of a sudden where you were struggling to lose weight and change things or blah, blah, blah. It begins to happen. It begins to flow in. Why? Because there was so much resistance to release something, in this case, a partner that was not good for you, that was holding you back. Once you do release them, all of a sudden you have momentum. You have so much momentum because there was so much power built up that was being held back. Like, in other words, you were growing, but not moving with your growth to stay in that relationship. And therefore, were able to just gain traction like a slingshot. All of a sudden, as soon as you left that relationship. That's the expression I'm getting. So again, if it resonates, it's yours. Transformation, things are changing at a cellular level, and deep healing, that is what Tower is supposed to do. It's supposed to create a completely transformed... Why does that keep happening? If that's the same vehicle that's really loud and buzzy, it's harassing me at this point. Just kidding. Deep healing, transformation. There is going to be obviously change, right? The purpose of this tower is to bring in significant change, but that's a good thing because it's associated with healing that you are very deserving of. It feels very desired, healing that you've been desiring, and it coming from a very place of unconditional vibration, that unconditional love vibration. And I'm only saying that because of the pinks, the way it's like standing out to me. That's what pink represents to me, right? Like the energy of unconditional love, which is associated with God, right? What God is supposed to be, what the universe is to me, right? The vibration of unconditional love and compassion. So this type of energy that is going to, you're shifting into with this tower, okay, that's going to bring change, and there's real strong emotional groundedness. So to remind yourself that this changes that are happening, to put yourself, if I don't feel like you're emotionally unstable, to be honest, I just feel like maybe this is one of those most like more subtle towers, like one of those, I mentioned it in the collective reading or the collective message, like some tower moments are more subconscious, so they're not in their outside environment, which I feel like this might connect in that way, where this tower is subconscious. So it's something that's shifting or being broken down in such a fast or yeah, just like in such a quick way that you don't even have time to think, that you don't even have time to prepare, that you don't have time for any sort of resistance, okay? It just happened so fast and on purpose because it needed to happen that way in order for you to not resist it. But it was something I feel that you were deeply in need of for change and healing, okay? Broken arrow, embrace the energy of peace. That is what that message always gives me, and I'm seeing it like so in a different light, but stronger in the same message. In the fact that every time that I see that this card, it says like, yes, there's emphasis on what's broken, but trusting that it was for a reason, okay? Just letting it go. It already happened is sort of the vibe that it gives. But also embracing the energy of peace, because I feel like with healing and peace and a deep breath, like there's strong emphasis on, I guess, maybe having been, I remember I gave the example of the compressed chest because that's what I felt in the beginning in the energy. I don't feel it now, but it was very strong in my energy, and I feel like maybe that's like a metaphor maybe, or maybe physically even feeling like compressed chest, like of just heaviness. But metaphorically, maybe just feeling like there's a lot of weight on your chest and it's hard for you to even like have some peace, okay? If you've been feeling very stressed or overwhelmed, that might resonate in that way, that this tower shift, although it feels very tumultuous, because of the shift or the ripple of shift that it's causing, or the resistance that it's causing in you. If you're still in heavy resistance, yes, you are, right? That's the energy that I got in the beginning. Okay, sorry, I was forgetting. To trust the changes and just release the resistance, because it's going to shift you into a good place, first of all, with the Wheel of Fortune, a more balanced masculine energy as well, a place of healing, a place of peace from any compression and overwhelmedness that you may be experiencing in your life. These changes are happening to help ease that, so they're for your highest good, again, that was the collective message. Also, this broken arrow is bringing in not only like emotional grounded and stability and security, but these shifts are also bringing in like emotional fulfillment, which is why I was just like, why does this reading feel different? Like it's sort of giving me like a, what did I say again? A foresight of what to expect from this tower, okay? It feels different, but it connects very heavily with the tower energy and the shifts that you may be experiencing At least I feel. So I hope that this was able to resonate with you. Those are the messages. Again, I apologize for any spaciness or, yeah, any difficulty in me expressing the messages clearly if you felt that way. I hope I was able to offer you some sort of guidance when it comes to whatever you're dealing with this tower energy in your life, and rest assured that any resistance that you're feeling is normal and natural, because we all have resistance to change as humans. However, that if it eases your mind, having some sense of trust that this is a good thing, okay? It's gonna release that compression that you may have been feeling for a while now, and move things along in the direction I feel that you've been desiring for yourself, okay? So that is what I got for you. I just saw 2424. I swear with these numbers. Until we vibe again, loves. Hi, pile number 4. Thank you for joining me for your reading. If you chose the Lapis Lazuli, then you are at the right pile. I am going to pull Oracle Clarifiers of Tarot and see what guidance messages there are for you. Okay, I'm going to take the one that flipped. Alright, let's see what we got. Shining Through, card number 30. Birthing a new age, birthing new creations, dreaming a new world into being. This feels like spiritual awakening. The Garden and the Gate, card 30. Oh my God, with the numbers, I swear. 3030. That's going to be something for some of you. Google search what that might mean and choose whichever message you feel guided to. Lord, take charge with authority. Okay, let me get clarifiers before I start trying to... What am I seeing the world? Where did I see the world? I don't know why that something's wanting to come to mind, but I don't know where it's from. Okay, we have the Four of Wands and the Hanged Man, so we have 2. Is that one? Yeah. I'll get one for the last one. Page of Wands. Why does this one feel a little harder to read? Okay, I am going to sit with the cards and then I will give you my impressions. Okay. This is a confusing reading. I'm going to start to say, like, parts of it are clear. This is clear to me. This feels like a guidance. This is confusing me in the aspect, but I'm going to read what I'm getting from that, and then obviously, oh, my wrist popping. You decide how it connects, if at all, to whatever tower energy is happening with you in your life, okay? So this feels, I don't know how to describe it, okay? It feels like tower energy that is specifically in regards to perception. Again, I don't know why I feel the need to specify that, but I don't know if this feels like internal tower, not exterior, something outside of you that's happening, but something within you that's happening. Kind of like pile 3, but different at the same time. So, you're going to know if that resonates with you. If you experience an exterior tower, which something physically outside of you was taken or lost or shifted or something, okay, or affected in some way, then this is not going to be your reading, because I strongly feel that this is something within. It feels like perception, like something having to do with thoughts and decisions, if that makes sense, is what's shifting or breaking down at this time, like prior beliefs, prior perceptions of going about things, or something like that, okay? It feels like spiritual awakening is the purpose of these shifts. So if these shifts are causing you any sort of disturbance or there's resistance in them, which I don't, maybe, like resistance as far as anxiety is what I'm getting with the swords here. It feels like you're moving away from anxious thoughts that weren't allowing you to move forward in some way, but these shifts with the tower, what it's saying is it's allowing for a more clearer, true to you perception to shine through. Whatever tower is cracking is allowing more truth, more clarity, but also more knowing and understanding of what you want or what direction you should go, something like that. With birthing a new age, it says birthing new creations. So this is about intention. Where are you directing your intentions versus, yeah, it feels like a shift in that. A shift in intention. A shift in desires, maybe, for some of you. The world, after it says dreaming a new world into being. Oh, well, me trying to emphasize the synchronicity that this is what clarified it. Dreaming a new world into being, and then the world coming out, which is that energy, right, of just good things, but powerful change or setting something in motion also is the reason behind this tower moment, or the purpose of these shifts is to allow you to get to a place of perception or clarity, that's going to allow something to start in process, but it feels good. It feels like in tune with you. I don't know, with you and what you want. I'm hearing desire again. Emphasis on, I call it the bubble, right? The bubble of your energy, the bubble of what it is that you float in, this bubble, and what you're putting in there, your thoughts, your feelings, your actions, your intentions. All of that affects how you go around and where you go around in the world and how you experience things, right? So it's important that if there's anything like those swords that were not allowing clarity of how to navigate your way in this bubble towards what you desire, that's shifting for you in this tower energy. Yeah, okay, here's the resistance, the garden and the king. Okay, I want to get into this energy last. Sorry, that was the confusing energy. Lord, take charge with authority, and Page of Wands, which is also taking some sort of charge with authority. Wands is actions, right? So something in regards to the actions that you were taking previous to this tower energy that were taking you, sort of like steering you off or not getting you anywhere closer to where you truly desire to be, okay? Or to where you truly are meant to be. So I'm hearing for some of you to change that. Actions are going to be shifting, taking charge with authority. So maybe being able to take actions on your desires is something that you were unable to do in a productive way somehow, or something that was holding you back, and now you're able to, having left that behind through whatever the tower is, it's forcing you to leave that or shift that or break that process of thinking down, something like that. I feel like a lot of these messages are making sense. I don't know if anything that's coming out of my mouth is making sense. This is either going to be a very clear, super in tune, amazing reading, or it's going to be nonsense. We'll find out. But yeah, something about your actions, being able to take charge with more, like, you know, like, trust your guidance and go for it with confidence, I'm feeling, is also going to be a benefit of this shift. Okay, now we get into the confusing ass energy. So this part right here might only resonate with some of you, okay? The garden and the gate gives me that sort of like hesitancy. At least this is giving me right now, right? Because the gate is emphasized. What do gates do? What is the symbolism of a gate? Is to separate one thing from what's outside of it, right? So that's why I feel resistance. Like she's sort of like looking out, like wanting to explore the garden that she already knows to be safe and comfortable, and doesn't have to feel unknown of what's over here and what's over there and what she might encounter, because she knows her garden, right? It's what's comfortable, it's what's safe, it's what she knows. But having like that curiosity, potentially desire, which is what I said. I think I said that desires might be changing. I don't know. Maybe a perception change of wanting to go outside of what's comfortable, what's the same, what's the regular, and exploring. Like the heart wants a desire, explores, or desires more, is what I'm getting. And then we have the Four of Wands and the Hanged Man, and then sort of at first, what did I get at first with the Hanged Man? Oh, I got Tetris. Something falling into place, because he looks like he's a T, and you know how in Tetris you gotta like try to move the thing so that it falls out in the most productive way. So then I pictured like the Hanged Man being dropped into perfectly into the two beams holding it, supported, and him fitting directly into the middle. I sort of got that, like something fitting. I don't know. Let me take that if it resonates. But then also, then I was like, the Hanged Man, like he's okay. Resistance again, like a perception change. If I didn't say that, I'm saying it. The Hanged Man is the energy of having a perception change, which could also be like all of a sudden is connecting with, now that I'm thinking about it, with the message I said, maybe your desires are changing. Maybe where you thought you were just good, like you're good. You're good because you're in this garden, you know how it's, what to expect, you know that it's safe, and you think you're good with that for the rest of your life. But then all of a sudden, you have a change of perception, like the Hanged Man, and something becomes illuminated. That change of perception makes you all of a sudden desire something different, and maybe that's what this tower is helping you, or caused that shift and change, and waking you up, like snapping you out of it and saying, hey, you want more. Remember that bubble of things that you want for yourself? You're not moving towards them. Let go of those thoughts that are holding you back, and move forward. But maybe you had a lot of resistance to that, and so therefore the tower energy is happening. Whatever happened to shift came in to shift. Four of Wands is about victory. It's about happiness. It's about feeling fulfilled. Okay, so how it connects to this is the only thing is that with that desire, like wanting more, wanting to have the ultimate fulfillment, not just happiness and peace and safety, which is good. We all seek that, right? We all want stability, safety, happiness, but I feel like you want that like times 10. You want to explore outside of just what's comfortable and what you've known. Yeah, you want something different. You want a transformation. There's little butterflies that are standing out to me now. And then, also, what I got is, for some of you, only take this if it resonates. I got wedding for whatever reason, like all of a sudden changing a perception to like marriage and wedding. And I got wedding because I felt like all of a sudden like she looked like a flower girl. And then this obviously always looks like if they're getting married and celebrating their marriage, unity, union to each other. So then I was like, flower girl, getting married, change of perception. I don't know. That just might be for somebody. But if not, then just connect it with the way of however it connects to you, okay? I really don't know if I offered any guidance right now, but I'm done. I feel that I'm done. I did this reading, which was really exhausting. I feel like it was a really long reading too. I don't know. I won't know till after when I put it together and edit and all that stuff. But it needed to happen. I was guided to do it, and I'm done. So I'm going to relax now. I hope I was able to help you and offer guidance. And just in whatever way. Until we vibe again, loves.